Greetings, YouTube. As the title says, this video is aimed at TERFs. Now, TERF, T-E-R-F, stands for Trans Exclusive Radical Feminists, though the last letter F should probably not be included because anyone that excludes trans women from feminism, actually excludes anyone from feminism, isn't a feminist. They're just a shitgibbon, and we don't need them. So I'm sure that I've already alienated anyone who might consider themselves to be socially conservative and a feminist, though that particular combination is something I would have a very hard time parsing in my head at the same time. That would require someone to be very, very unusual to be both socially conservative and feminist at the same time, but that's what they're doing. They are, in fact, being socially conservative because they are excluding trans women from feminism and are in general transphobic. So here's my question, as the title of the video says. Why do you care? I genuinely and sincerely do not grasp why you care that another person is or is not transgender. I can't fathom it. What business is it of yours? What business is it of yours how someone else dresses? Whether they are masculine or feminine? Whether they consider themselves to be a woman or a man, non-binary, agender, pangender? What does it matter? I don't get it. I need Bill Murray behind me right now, chanting that with me. What does it matter? And the argument I'm going to have thrown at me will be involving the bathroom controversy. Because everyone is all upset that trans people are using public restrooms with cisgender people. For some reason, this really upsets the TERFs and the bigots. And remember, if you are a TERF, you are a bigot. And one of the big thing about the bathroom issue is that people will say, the TERFs and the bigots will say, well, what if a man, and they're very specific about this, they mean a cisgender heterosexual man, dresses in feminine clothing and then goes into a bathroom for the purposes of harassing or assaulting women. Well, if that's the case, if that's a cisgender heterosexual man dresses in feminine clothing to do that, your problem isn't with trans people, because that isn't a trans person. That's a cisgender heterosexual person. That's where your problem is. Your problem is with predatory men. And I understand that. I have a problem with predatory men as well. I think they should all fuck off and stay home. But your problem isn't with trans people. You're just looking for an excuse to be a bigot, and that's your justification for getting laws put in place that target trans people. Because you are more concerned with making sure trans people can't go into public and can't use public restrooms than you are with predatory men being in public restrooms. You don't actually care about them. Because if you did care about predatory men in public restrooms, you would target them and you would use that language. But you don't. So expecting trans people to solve the problem of predatory cisgender heterosexual men is a bit much. You've failed to do it, all you cisgender heterosexual men and women of the world. You haven't figured out how to control those predatory men. So placing that burden upon trans people, that's a bit of a dick move, now isn't it? So stop it. Don't use that argument. Shelve that for now. If you have a problem with predatory straight men, we have laws for that. We have laws against harassment and laws against sexual assault. We have laws against invasion of privacy. We have all those things. And none of them have to do with trans people in public restrooms. Leave the trans people alone. Let them do their thing. Let them go about their day. Let them live their fucking lives. And I'm going to ask one more time. before I leave. Why do you care?